Hey guys, what is up? It's Tova coming at you with a new video. Definitely not an old video because that wouldn't make any sense. And today we're going to be talking all about the law of attraction. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you probably know that I talk about it quite a bit, and it is something that I'm quite passionate about. Manifesting has become a really big part of my life. Never used to be, but within this year especially, I've really made manifesting, journaling, and putting out the vibes that I want to attract into the universe way more of a priority than I ever have. So I've actually made a video about the law of attraction before, which you can find in the description box. I'll link it down below, where I talked about the basics. And if you guys haven't watched it, then I highly do recommend you go and watch that, because I do talk about manifestation 101, what it means, how to do it, some of my techniques, etc, etc. And today I wanted to come forth and talk to you about how it actually worked for me. So I have a story to tell you of how I manifested a trip. I know some of you guys might think that, like, oh, how can you manifest a trip? Like, if you want to go on a trip, you just book it and that's it, and you're going. And although that is true in some cases, sometimes it doesn't work that easy, and sometimes you want to manifest a certain person coming on a trip or a certain place, and that is exactly what I did. You guys can take this story in whatever way you want to, but everything aligned and worked for me. I knew that it was something that I actively did, and that this was something that I brought into my life. I am going to share my story with you today and share what I did so you guys are familiar with the techniques that I used for the law of attraction. So without further ado, let's get into this. The number one thing that I use every day to practice the law of attraction is this notebook right here. Every single day I write my manifestations. Sometimes I will script, sometimes I will write affirmations, sometimes I will write what I need to get done that day, and sometimes I'll simply just write that today's gonna be an amazing day and I'm grateful for this, this, and that. It doesn't always have to be the same. So first and foremost, what is the thing that I'm talking about that I was able to manifest? So since I came back from my trip and I went to Asia, I had the idea of going to Banff and the Rockies in my mind. So I've wanted to go to Banff. If you guys saw my past videos about manifestation, you would have seen that I had my visualization board, which I then put into my journal because I was revamping my room. But on my vision board was Banff. Yep, I had Banff. That was on my vision board. So every day, the first thing that I did was get clear with what I wanted, and I would have it in my vision board. And then when I didn't have my vision board, I put it in my notebook, and this notebook I literally open every day. Then I looked at that every day. So I was looking for a trip to go to Banff. And then when COVID happened, I kind of started to lose hope that it would happen, because at the beginning of COVID, traveling, everything was very, very strict. But as we go into phase 3, it kind of hit me about a month ago that I would have to go back to work eventually. And if I didn't take it in my hands now to go sometime at the end of July or in August, I wouldn't have gone this year. And I really want to go this year because something was telling me that I need to go to Banff. I really want to go to Banff. I kind of filled the gap by going on a bunch of other little adventures across Ontario, but it was always in the back of my head. So I have some entries. For instance, I'm gonna read you an entry that I did on April the 14th, where I said, "Dear universe, yesterday I meditated to manifesting my reality. In this meditation, I have over 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have a very large audience on YouTube. I travel to the places I want to travel to. I'm so happy. I'm attracting abundance, and I can support myself and my dream lifestyle. I look good, I feel good, and this is my life captured." I hit 10K on Instagram, and I'm traveling. Let me see if I can find something a little bit more specific. On May 14th, I once again wrote about how I did a guided meditation and how I thought of traveling, all the things that I wanted to achieve, and how good that felt. So when I do the guided meditations, you can find one on YouTube, or you can just simply do it on your own. What it is you visualize while you're meditating. You visualize your future self basically achieving what you want to achieve. And then you pretend like you're talking to them. They are telling you how your life has turned out. Doing that kind of opens a gate into understanding that it is possible, because you can literally visualize to the exact detail how you would look, how your life would be. That kind of just opens the gate between something that's so far away and seems unattainable to actually something that you can do in the future and that is attainable. I would constantly visualize me doing a road trip with a best friend, and I also would visualize like going to expos as like a fitness influencer and having like such an abundance of clients and just being really successful. I would visualize like myself talking to my higher self and asking like how it's like. That is basically the kind of guided meditation that I talk about. So here we go. On June 13th, I said, "Dear universe, my trip to the west coast of Canada is happening. I am planning it. My online business is unfolding in front of my eyes. I am truly living my dream. I am so grateful to be alive. I will act today with intention." Turns out my online business has been super successful, and yes, my trip to the west coast is happening. June 13th. It was not happening, but I said I put it out into the universe that it was happening. So now we're going to pause and talk about between then and then the start of July, what happened with the trip and why I find this so interesting. So sometimes time, I don't remember the exact date, but it must have been at the end of June or beginning of July. I was talking to one of my friends and her friend, and we were talking about how nice it would be to go to Banff. I'm a very spontaneous person, so the moment someone would say something like that, I'd be like, okay, like let's look. And so we started looking. We literally spent like 3 hours looking at driving down there, everything like that, hotels. Literally, I thought we were gonna do it, but something didn't feel right. I don't know. And then it actually, within a day, just unfolded itself and didn't end up happening due to flight issues and driving issues and time and this and that. And just like that, the plan was demolished. It didn't end up happening. It was forgotten about. Obviously, you got my gears going, so I was like, I already started looking. I'm not gonna back down. Like, I'm so close. There's no point to give up for me. So I would continue to write in my journal about how it's still going to happen. And then I asked a different group of my friends. They wanted to go because we once were talking about it in the past, and that didn't end up happening. We started planning it. It flopped. And then I was very convinced about going on my own. I was gonna sacrifice going for just like 3 or 4 days because it is expensive, and I couldn't have afforded going for like a week or two on my own. I just held off on it. If I had to go alone, I would have gone alone, no problem, but it just didn't feel right to go alone. And I kind of like put it aside and didn't think about it for a bit. Like, I continued to manifest it, but I didn't actively search. For like a couple days, I was searching like all the hotels and stuff, but I stopped. I stopped for some certain reason. So it is July 16th that everything changed for me. So I remember on July 16th, I was watching like a TV show or something with my mom, and something about it was like about traveling, whatever. I ended up feeling kind of bummy, and I remember going up to my room. I went to my computer and I was watching some of the old travel videos that I made on my laptop and just kind of like reminiscing on those vibes. I went and I watched a couple videos on Banff, just like one of those like cinematic travel videos because I'm a sucker for those things. And then literally within that moment, my best friend Noam, now her and I were always thinking about going to Banff, but since COVID happened, we never really talked about it because she had to go through a surgery and I didn't want to make that a priority for her. It's enough that she was going through something difficult. Last thing I wanted to do was put on being like, hey, want to go up to Banff? So I just never made it a priority to bug her about it because I just didn't think it was right to. But here she goes. She messages me on July 16th. I have the message right here. July 16th at 10:51 p.m. Out of nowhere. We didn't even talk really that day. And she goes, when are we going to BC? And in that moment, I will put the screenshot up right here because I said, holy fuck. I literally manifested this. Stop. I'm gonna cry right now. Lo, I literally have chills. And I was like, I was just looking at flights to BC right now, which I was out of curiosity seeing if the prices went up. I was just in shock because I remember feeling so passionate that night. Out of nowhere, she messaged me and it was always a dream to go with her. And I was just like, what the hell? I was literally looking for flights and then she sent me the message. You can take this with a grain of salt, right? Like, you could choose to believe or you could choose not to believe, but I choose to believe that I manifested a trip like that with this particular person into my life. Her and I, our vibrations were on the same level. Within a week turnaround, she ended up coming over and we ended up booking everything that day, and we're going to Banff. So I'm going to Banff and then I'm going to Vancouver Island, and I leave in almost 20 days. So I go this month. But I truly think that this was something that I manifested into my life. The ways that I manifested this was through the guided meditation, which I just told you about, which was through scripting. So saying that I have booked a trip to Banff, that it's in the works, I'm currently planning it, I'm making my itinerary. Even if you haven't even booked the flight, pretend, like, script a day in the life that you have already booked it, so you can put yourself on those feeling levels and like the vibration levels that this is something that is possible and something that you can experience. Feel like you have, because that is a really good tool to make your vibrations go up and to just in general make you more of a hopeful, enthusiastic being. On top of that, the other thing that I did was just affirmations and putting up positive affirmations, making myself feel confident throughout the days, and that was really all the things that I did. It was vision board, visualization, meditation, affirmation, and scripting that got me to where I want to be now. So this is my journal on July 16th where I wrote, "Dear Universe, I felt you so fucking hard today. This evening I got a weird but overwhelming nostalgic feeling. I came to my room and sat down watching my past travel videos, and then I opened Google Flights to check prices for Banff. I saw an ad earlier today saying how cheap it was, and then at that very second, Noam texted me saying, when are we going? Chills overtook me. I have been manifesting this trip since March. I've tried to go on it, but none of my options or partners worked out. So I let it rest and knew it was going to happen and came to me. Well, universe, it came. I hear you. I see you. I took the opportunity. Thank you." And that is my manifesting story. I think that this is something that everybody should implement into their life. You just simply have to make your mind a positive space, believe in yourself and believe in the opportunities, and just open your freaking eyes. eyes. Like, just open your eyes to life and to what you can do to get what you want. You don't have to be passive and sit back and watch life in front of you. Like, this is absolutely your life, and you can take the steering wheel and freaking drive. You're not a passenger, you are the driver. I just want everyone to always remember that, because it hurts me to see people who just let life passively pass them by and they don't do anything about it because, you know, something didn't work out and then they give up. 2020, almost done. It's time you take control. It's time you be spontaneous, and if an opportunity presents itself and it's something that you want to do, just freaking take it. Everything else will fall into place. In my eyes, experience overpowers something materialistic. So if you guys have any other questions, you can leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to answer them, or if you want to talk to me privately, you can send me a DM on Instagram. I always reply there. My Instagram is right here at Toe Fitness. That's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe so we can become friends and so you don't miss any of my videos. Comment down below if you've ever had like any cool manifesting stories, because I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again sometime soon, and don't forget to stay cool. Peace.